Hi, I'm Michael Nisley with 47products.com. The goal of the video here today is to talk about the Louse Lips feeding tray as well as the Mallrat Sled. These are single-shot loading trays for the 1022 as well as Ruger American Rimfire, and really any firearm that's going to accept the standard Ruger BX magazine. The rifle that we have here in front of us is really what started it all. This is my original 1022, the first rifle I ever purchased, and it's the rifle that I used to teach my daughters to shoot. Now, this worked great in instilling a love of shooting in them. Being able to use this rifle to ring steel at 50 yards, we had a blast. Great rifle for that. But it's a semi-automatic rifle, magazine fed, so it is a lot easier for a kid to just pull the trigger another time after they've missed than to really stop and think, why did I miss? And so semi-automatics really aren't a great rifle when it comes to teaching trigger control and teaching sight alignment. That really comes from something that's going to be a little more cost, a little slower to shoot. And so I decided it was time for me to go ahead and invest in some bolt guns. I had already invested in the 1022s, had the BX magazines, so the Ruger American Rimfire rifle seemed like a great rifle to pick. But then my younger daughter, she's able to shoot full-size rifles, but she's smaller stature. She's a younger kid. So I decided I wanted to get a rifle for her as well. So I decided a youth rifle would be a good investment. So I chose the Savage Rascal as a rifle for her, and that's what we have here. One of the things that we found that we loved was this little feeding tray. Being able to just drop a round in to this feeding tray and to feed from that was great. I found that both of my daughters actually loved shooting this rifle because of this feeding tray. They actually preferred shooting this over the Ruger American Rimfire in the 1022 simply because of this feature. It didn't have the best sights. It didn't even fit my elder daughter. She's too big for this rifle. It didn't fit her well, but she loved shooting it because of the simplicity. They didn't want to mess around with magazines. So I really thought, that really... It sounds like there's a market there. There's a product that needs to exist. So I did some looking, and I found that Ruger has a single shot 1022 BX magazine, but it's a single shot magazine. You have to actually feed a round into it and put that up into the gun before you can shoot, and then you have to eject the magazine and feed another round in, and that really wasn't what we were looking for. So that's what made me think, well, somebody ought to make this product. And after about 2 years of thinking somebody ought to make this product, I realized maybe I'm that somebody. So that's what brought me to the Mallrat Sled. So that's what we have here. And so I thought, it'd be pretty easy, right? I mean, how difficult can it be to just find something where you can set a bullet on top of it? Well, that's easy. But getting the bullet to then feed off of this and up into the gun, that turns out to be pretty hard. Same with the lockup of the magazine replacement into the gun. That's pretty difficult as well. So once I had a working solution, a sort of an alpha release of this available, I started talking to some manufacturers and talking to some people that ended up being sort of my focus group, my beta testers, about how we can move forward. And we thought, maybe a better option would be to focus on the feed lips. So this is the feed lips out of a BX magazine right here. You can see that it comes out of there. And maybe I could find something to just replace that. So that's where my design turn to next. Now all I needed to worry about was dimensions, right? Finding how I can make it be the same dimensions, the same pins, getting this all to just sort of fit into the top of the magazine. And once I got that done, now I had something off of which I could work to get my angles right for feeding. And that's where we came to the Louse Lips tray. And that's what I have here. This is a Louse Lips tray in a standard Ruger BX1 magazine case. And so the lockup's perfect, right? It just works every time, just like any other magazine does. And then how you feed a round into it is just right here through the side. Just toss the round in, and it sits on the tray. Now at that point, to feed the round up into the chamber, just pull back on your bolt and let it go home. It's that easy. When you want to feed your next round, just lock the bolt back. Again, just toss a round in there. It sets into the tray. Pull back, let her go home. So that is the Louse Lips tray on the 1022. Now, once I had the Louse Lips tray together and it was really a solid product, then at that point I put my focus back onto those people who maybe don't want to take apart their 1022 magazine and they want a magazine replacement. And that's what I have here. Now, I extended it a little bit longer than the normal magazine, and I did that because I wanted something you could grab a hold of easier to feed it up in and remove it from the gun. And then also, you see the bright pink color. I did that because I wanted, for training purposes, somebody to be able to look at a rifle and say, okay, it's got one of the single shot loading trays in it. In my case, the Mallrat Sled here, it's got that in it quickly and visually. I chose pink because, the blaze orange, it's used for chamber flags and things along that line. I thought this would be a unique color. But as far as function, you can see it's the same. The round goes in there, it sits inside of the tray, pull back on the bolt, let it go forward. So functionally, it's the same. Just two different options. Do you want to replace the internals of your BX magazine and use the case, or do you want to completely replace the magazine itself? That's the difference between the Mallrat Sled and the Louse Lips tray. Now that's in the 1022. Let me go ahead and get this out of the way here. And we'll bring in the Ruger American Rimfire. So uses the same magazines. So lockup is going to be identical, although I did find that it is a little bit tighter of a lockup on the Ruger American Rimfire than it is on the 1022. But there we go, round is in there, and then again, just send the bolt home and it feeds. Whoops. And let me go ahead and eject that magazine, and there is the Mallrat Sled. And again, feeds right in. So that is the function of these in the Ruger American Rimfire and the Ruger 1022. It's just a loading tray. You're able to load the rounds in one at a time. As far as the fitment, you can see lockup is good, especially on the Ruger American Rimfires. I wanted to make certain that even though the tolerances are a little bit tighter, they're tighter front to back on these, I didn't want to adjust the size of the sled at all because I want this thing to be solid in there for our precision shooters. I want them to have a base that's in there that is locked in well. So definitely very happy with that. As I said, I had 13 different beta testers across the U.S., 2 that I added from Australia as well to help me in doing testing. So we have quite a variety of different guns that these have been in and tested with. I'm so thankful that I had the opportunity to leverage their assistance because we had quite a few different changes based upon the different tolerances in the different guns. Could not have done it without them. I found that designs that worked in my gun maybe didn't necessarily work well in the stainless version of this or the target version of this. So having to try those different guns to make certain that we had the lockups just right, we had the angles just right, was absolutely invaluable. Very, very big thanks to that group of individuals. Also, I mentioned from a training standpoint why I felt these worked very well. I mentioned from the precision shooting standpoint, being able to try different rounds instead of having to if I'm doing 5-shot groups of 12 different types of ammunition, instead of having to load the magazine 12 different times just to shoot one group of each of those different types of ammunition. Now I just leave the sled in place, and then I just pull a round out of the box, put it onto the sled, go ahead and feed that round and shoot. Do that 5 times for each one of the different ones that I want to shoot. I never have to eject the magazine. I never have to load a magazine. I use this thing at the shooting range all the time now. So very, very thankful for the encouragement that I got from the community to continue to move forward with these products. Now, both the Louse Lips tray and the Mallrat Sled are available for purchase at 47products.com. That's the website and the business that owns these designs. The names, the Louse Slips tray and the Mallrat Sled, and as well as 47products.com. All of them kind of have a story that's behind them. If you head over to 47products.com, you can get this story behind each of those. Feel free to pepper me with questions as well. I'm very happy to interact with the community. I want these products to be something that is great for our community, both in the precision shooting community and just the plain, going down to the range and having a good time. I think it works out great for all of us. So if you do have any questions, feel free to get a hold of me. You can reach me on my Facebook page, which you'll probably be seeing this video from. You can respond in comments on the YouTube video. Just reach out to me on the website as well, 47products.com. Try and be very vocal in the community and answer any questions you have. If there's anything specific that you want to see, yes, I will be doing some live fire with these and showing being at the range with them. Unfortunately, all the times I've been at the range of the thousands and thousands of rounds that we put through these things, I haven't really recorded much of my range time with that. So I will go ahead and get some video of that hopefully here soon. Unfortunately, I live in Ohio, and Ohio's weather and my schedule have not jived at all. But look for that hopefully here relatively soon. And like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to get a hold of me. Look in the description below this video. I'll have links to the website where you can look at these in order. And then also I will post links to other videos. I have a video where I show how to take the internals out of the standard BX magazine and put the Louse Slips tray in. And I'm sure other videos will be coming soon, so keep an eye on my channel. Thanks so much. Feel free to share this, and thanks again for your time. I hope that you see my passion in these products, and I hope that you see a use for them and are excited to get these integrated in your shooting systems as well. Thank you.